A lot of my clients are surprised to hear that I have a PhD, and they're curious about how I became a realtor. I'm Greg Rairdan from Century 21 Masters, and today I'm going to tell you all about how I became the Ph.D Realtor. So like a lot of realtors, real estate is not my first career. Back in the day, I used to be a scientist. So how did I get from there to here? Well, it started when I was growing up. I grew up on a small farm in central Alberta and was very interested in genetics and agriculture. So I went to the University of Alberta, got my Bachelor of Science in Genetics, and then decided I wanted to pursue that. And I went to Cornell University in beautiful Ithaca, New York to get my PhD. After getting my PhD in plant genetics, I then did a couple of postdocs and ended up accepting a job in Wilmington, Delaware, working for DuPont, their seed company, specifically Pioneer, working on trying to develop soybean varieties that are resistant to a devastating plant pathogen, Asian soybean rust. And in many ways, this was my dream job. I was using cutting-edge genetic techniques to try to make plants that were resistant to disease. And if successful, that would cut chemical use in South America drastically and be great for the environment. The first few years there were fantastic. I loved my job. But eventually the corporate grind really started to get to me. There's so much bureaucracy working with a large multinational corporation like DuPont. And it seemed like every year more and more of my colleagues were getting laid off. Because I could sort of see the writing on the wall that probably one day my name will come up, my wife and I decided to invest in some real estate to try to diversify our income. So we bought 2 multifamily properties, 1 quadplex and 1 triplex. And those turned out to be really fantastic investments. And that's how I got the real estate bug. And sure enough, eventually my number did come up. An activist investor, Nelson Peltz, had got involved in DuPont, trying to take over the board. He figured he could squeeze a couple $100 million out of the company. And really the best way to squeeze money out of a company is to lay all the employees off. So one day in December, we were all brought into the conference room and told that they were moving the crop genetics research program to Iowa, and only the scientists would be coming. Everyone else was getting laid off. So thankfully, I did have the opportunity to keep my job if I wanted to move to Iowa. However, my wife and I discussed it, and we had no interest to move to Iowa where we had no ties. She had a great job that she had no interest in giving up, and DuPont had no assurances that I wouldn't lose my job anyways after moving to Iowa. So at that point, I decided to do a 180 with my career and get my real estate license. And to DuPont's credit, they allowed me to take my severance payout anyways. And so I had a nice income coming in for a few weeks while I established my real estate business. And I have to say, getting my real estate license and switching careers was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I loved being a real estate agent and helping people buy their next homes, especially first-time buyers. There's something really fantastically rewarding about seeing people when they get the keys to their very first house. A few years ago, my wife's role changed with her company and she went 100% remote. So that gave us the opportunity to move back to Alberta, which we did. And that's another decision we certainly haven't regretted. We love it here in Edmonton. And I would love to have the chance to help you or any of your friends with your real estate needs. So if you have any real estate questions, or if you're ready to purchase your next property or sell, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll hit the like or subscribe button if you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.